Now, it's my joy to invite the Young People's Ministry Council and Director Audrey Wilder to present the report. Let's receive them.
Good afternoon. My name is Daniel McClure, and I'm from 12th Street in Huntingdon. I'm a member of the Young People's Ministry Council, and on behalf of all of us involved, we thank you for your time today. The Young People's Ministry Council helps make the Susquehanna Conference better together by welcoming and including youth in the mission of the United Methodist Church, especially when they may feel excluded. In our inclusion of youth in ministry, we contribute growth to the global church and to the local church, and this makes us better together. In YPMC, our mission is to equip student leaders to empower their peers to make disciples. We do this most frequently through our rallies, in which we travel to different locations in the conference and organize an afternoon of meaningful ministry to peers where we can explore our faith journey together. As a member, I can say that I feel very well equipped to empower my peers and to encourage them in their faith journey. My participation in this organization has taught me to effectively connect with other youth and to offer advice in pursuing their faith in a way that is practical for teenagers. Through our various events, I have refined my communication and leadership skills to offer a peer model to youth who may be struggling with their faith, as well as sharing some of my personal faith journey. I remember a specific occurrence in which a youth struggled to maintain a strong focus on God throughout their daily life. And based on my personal journey, I could meaningfully connect and communicate with this youth to share that visual cues, daily reminders on your phone to pray, and keeping the Bible by your bedside are tips to help recenter your focus on God. It was because of my judgment-free attitude that I could better offer advice and engage in conversation with this youth to help them improve their faith. What is best of all is being able to take these skills back to my local community of peers and apply them there to act as a student leader to empower my peers. Often overlooked, student leaders are everywhere. We all lead in some aspect of ministry that is unique to ourselves, and here in the Young People's Ministry Council, we all do our part as leaders in different areas. Youth planning and coordinating in YPMC gives us the experience we need to put into practice our skills in our local churches. In all that the council does, student leaders are at the center of it. We are an essential part of youth ministry in the Susquehanna Conference. Due to my experience, I have been able to successfully help my peers with their faith journey in my local community because I was properly equipped to do so. As a youth, it is typically more influential for a peer to share a story or give advice as a student leader than an adult figure because they're easier to relate to and share a meaningful connection. student leaders can provide a different perspective that may be easier to understand for young people, because sometimes those darn grown-ups just don't get it. But maybe another student leader will. Our members in the council cover a range of ages. Our youngest members are entering junior high school, and our oldest members, like myself, are preparing to graduate from senior high school. Reflecting on my time in the Young People's Ministry Council, I have learned how to relate with my peers about their faith in a way that is comfortable and meaningful to their perspective of the world. I have learned how to make wise decisions that concern a body of my peers. Paramount to all, I have learned is that even though I am a student leader, I may not have all the answers, and it is okay to admit that. But sometimes the best advice is to remind my peers that they are not alone in their faith journey. My relationship with God has grown exponentially since the start of my membership in YPMC. By spending more time focusing on leading my peers in faith, I have led myself in faith, and as a result, have become more involved in the ministry of my local community. On October 18th, 2015, just a few months after I had attended an annual conference and joined YPMC, I delivered my first sermon on the Sunday of my confirmation. As of this past Sunday, I delivered my 7th sermon to a local congregation. It was the experience of annual conference and involvement of the Young People's Ministry Council that kick-started my faith journey as a maturing youth. Thank you.
Think about how many youth you have in your leadership church. Do you have youth on your councils? Are your youth involved in your leadership decisions? If not, consider how you could make sure that youth are involved in your church. When I first joined YPMC, I thought it was just going to be another church group. Boy, was I wrong. YPMC is more like a family to me. We do such cool things like promo videos, planning rallies, and much more. It is an all-around great experience, and I'm so glad I got to join. Go home and tell somebody about YPMC.
Last year, we announced at annual conference that our theme for our next events would be #TheStruggleIsReal. So we went out across the Susquehanna conference and held 3 different rallies in Gettysburg, Truxville, and State College. Across these 3 different locations, we had 171 youth, accompanied by 83 adults, attend our rallies, where we learned how to get through our struggles, and that it's best to get through them together. As a part of these events, we had discussion groups led by the YPMC youth, and in these discussion groups, we asked everyone what were some of the struggles they all faced. There were several huge struggles almost everyone named or agreed about, but none was more agreed upon than the struggle of being overscheduled. We wake up, we go to school, we do sports, clubs, jobs, we do our homework and study, we sleep, and then we wake up and repeat it all again. With very little exceptions, the schedules we face are always frantic and full. A comment from one youth participant explains exactly what we wanted to accomplish. Because of what I experienced, I will go up to others if I see them struggling and help. And that was our purpose, and that was our goal. To bring attention to the fact that we all have struggles and that we can get through them, but it's easier to do that together because we are truly never alone. Our scripture from Matthew 26 helped us focus on the fact that we are never alone. In the garden, Christ asked not to suffer, but he was willing to follow God's command. Because he did follow and he suffered painfully, we know for sure that Christ is with us and that he understands our struggles because he was and is all human and all God.
What is YSF? YSF is Youth Service Fund. YSF is money collected through various youth events to help fund projects led by youth that would benefit youth. YSF is more than a drive for funds. It impacts the life of youth. It is for youth, by youth, with youth. Why is it important to support youth ministries beyond your local congregation? In Matthew 8, Jesus teaches us to sow seeds in good ground, where it produced crops 160, or 30 times what was sown. YSF offers this seed money equipping youth to become disciples to go out into the community and the world in stewardship and service and ministry and compassion and generosity and making a difference in lives of other youth. St. Paul United Methodist Church in Manchester states, as we continue to expand and grow this youth mission ministry so that more youth are able to attend, the Youth Service Fund has allowed us to gradually add fundraisers to our annual calendar so that our congregation can get on board to make this project sustainable instead of putting large financial burden on them all at once. The last quadrennium, Susquehanna Annual Conference Youth Service Fund raised $25,981.13. 21 grants were given. The next quadrennium set goals for Susquehanna Annual Conference Youth Service Fund is $30,000 with 30 grants to be given to youth organizations. Just think about the math. 30 organizations impacting an average of 25 youth having an opportunity to grow in their faith. That is 750 youth disciples going out beyond the church walls into the world, spreading God's love and word. The numbers are astronomical. As Jesus taught, one seed can multiply 160 or 30 times, building in the good ground. YSF is a call for United Methodist youth to be active lay members. This is my third year attending Susquehanna Annual Conference as an Altoona District lay member and on Young People's Ministry. I am the 2017 and 18 Northeastern Jurisdiction Youth Service Fund Coordinator. Helping to give these youth organizations a jumpstart through the YSF is very important to me and leading others to Jesus. How does Youth Service Fund work? Youth funds are raised in two different ways. Local congregation donations through holding YSF fundraisers or donating 10% of the fundraising. Special offering on Youth Sunday. And second is annual conference. This year we have 25 silent auction baskets, sales of t-shirts, annual conference workbooks, name tag holders, and hoodie string bags, cell phone charging station donations, laity and clergy challenge. Clergy has raised $1,107.50. Laity raised $1,898.50. And the photo booth. Please see us, our alcove, to assist in planting God's seed. All of funds are raised for YSF and distributed by the Young People's Ministry. 30% of all funds collected of the conference are sent to General Church YSF, which are combined with others received from across the denomination to fund national and international missions and discipleship opportunities. Remaining funds are distributed following the review of grant applications by the YPMC. Youth organizations can apply by filling out an application for the 2018 grant, accepted April 1st, 2017 through October 31st, 2017, by applying online at igniteyoungpeople.org. The youth are the future disciples. Better together, make us one.
One way we become better together is to partner and to be in ministry together. We can do so much more when we join with others in doing ministry. There's no need to reinvent the wheel if someone already has it rolling. It's better to jump on board and pump up the speed. The Young People's Ministry is exploring how it can faithfully partner with other ministries, both inside and outside of our connection, to make the greatest impact on young people in our conference. We have already begun this partnership with our Susquehanna Conference Volunteers in Mission. We are presently putting together 2 different mission trips for 2018. March 3rd through 11th, Kurt Naus, the director of VIM, and I will be leading a team of young adults 18 and older to Costa Rica for a week of cultural immersion and service work. June 24th through 30th, I and 8 other adult leaders will be taking a small team of 20 students ages 14 and older, to the Henderson settlement in Franks, Kentucky. The purpose of this trip will be to give students hands-on experience planning and leading through mission. This will not be a trip designated for entire youth groups. If you are interested in your youth group taking one of these trips, I highly encourage you to contact Kurt. He will be happy to help set you up with a trip that meets your local congregation's needs. Our goal is that for students who are part of this trip to come back to their local congregations with the skills and the confidence to plan and build missional relationships in their local context. We will also be partnering with the Global United Methodist Church on 2 separate occasions over the next 2 years. Mark your calendars and start fundraising for Youth 2019. The Young People's Ministry will be coordinating a bus to Kansas City in July 2019, the 10th through the 14th. We will be joining thousands of other teens from around the world. Next summer is the Global Young People's Convocation, July 18th through 22nd in Johannesburg, South Africa. There are applications at our Young People's Ministry table for anyone under 30 who is interested in applying to be on the Northeastern Jurisdictions team.
So, as you've just heard, our final rally was in State College in March, and we have just had enough time to plan for annual conference, so we don't have anything set in stone for the upcoming year, but we are brainstorming, and we have cool ideas, so stay tuned.
You can find information about us on Twitter at YNGPPL Ministry, on Instagram at Young PPL Ministry, and for the older generations who are still on Facebook, you can follow us.
I'm still on Facebook.
You can follow us on Young People's Ministry page.
Thank you for your continued support of the youth in your church, the youth in your towns, and us youth here at Susquehanna Annual Conference.
And thank you for continuing to make disciples of Jesus Christ of all ages.
And thank you for helping us be better together.
Thank you, thank you. You know, I'm saying this here and there many times that children's ministry and youth ministry or young people's ministry is not something we do for them. It is rather about who we are when we are with them. They are not the future of our church. They are the present of our church. They are the partners and mission and ministry and witness now, today. Let the church hear their stories, their witness, and be partners indeed in ministry together. And when I think about this hymn of promises of God, of course, the promises that Jesus offers to us, particularly in a moment like this, I'm thinking about promises to be realized and fulfilled in and through the life journey of our young people among us.